All right. During training, the question about flex heads, and especially a flex head that goes down off of the branch line. So, um, one that you maybe you have a drop with hard pipe, and then after a foot or two, like in this case, we're going to have a 2 foot hard pipe drop, and in this case, we're going to have a 3 foot hard pipe drop. How do you set this up as a flex head? So you can notice here on this situation, this branch line is at 15 feet in the air. Our ceiling is at 10 feet. We're going to drop down with hard pipe 2 feet here, and then from there we're going to have an elbow, and we're going to elbow over with and then connect the flexible sprinkler connection from the bottom of the elbow over to the sprinkler head. So you're going to notice I have this down vertical pipe here. I have the green pipe connecting to the sprinkler head, and that is sized at 1 foot 1 inch over here. So I have two of those over here. In this situation over here, we're going to drop down straight with hard pipe, and then pretty much directly below the drop, we're going to have the sprinkler head connected. So you notice I don't have any green pipe drawn on this. So this one will likely be a coupling at the bottom of the hard pipe drop, and then the flexible sprinkler connection will connect to that. So let's see what this looks like in 3D with hard pipe, and then we'll see we'll set up a couple flex heads, and we'll see what it looks like with flex pipe afterwards. So I'm going to look at this, and you can see here, if I orbit around, you'll see that the pipe I have, in this case, this will be our hard pipe drop. We'll have the elbow, and then this green and white will be our flexible sprinkler connection. Over here, this will be our hard pipe, and then this section here will be our flexible sprinkler connection for this other one. Okay, so let's go set this up for flex heads. I'll drop it back down to 2D, and we'll jump over here, and let's set this up. Let's do the easy one first. So I'm going to type in the FSC command. We're going to create a new definition. I will then tell it. Now, I've been trying to guess ahead, and I've been trying to type in like FLX 31 and FLX 36 and 48, but I have not been able to get it right. I guess that I'm going to get a 31-inch flex, and it comes back as 36. And when I think I'm going to do a 36, it comes back as 48. So I can't seem to guess it right. So for now, maybe we just have to go with what the defaults give us. The other thing I discovered was even if I type out a value here and I select this button to select the sprinkler head, when I return to that window, it switches it back to F1. So keep in mind that if you do want to give it a custom name, make sure you do that after you've clicked this select object or select configuration. Anyway, I've selected that sprinkler head. It's read all of the values. It knows that the riser nipple length is 2 feet, so it's going to drop down 2 feet. We see that here. The arm over length is 1 foot 1. That's what this green pipe is. And then the drop length will be 2 foot 10. That's what we're dropping down from the elbow of the green pipe down. So it's finding all these lengths. Okay, so let's set this up. I'm going to not bother with any of these. I'm just going to stick with the default values that we see here, and I will click create definition. I will drop this off to the side, and I get this value here. Now, a couple things that I can do here, which I discovered after the fact. If I select this object, it's going to give me this arrow here, and this arrow allows me to move this up or down. I'm going to not do that, but what I do want to do is for my visibility, I want to click this down arrow for visibility, and it's telling you it's asking you, hey, what choice do you want? Do you want to give maximum hose, meaning that it's going to be at the very top of the riser of the branch line at 15 feet and go all the way down to the sprinkler head? Do you want to do the transition on the down piece? Do you want to do the transition at the elbow, on the arm over, or at the second elbow? We don't have a second elbow, but that's what it's asking is here. So I'm going to tell it that I want to do the transition at let's just escape out of this, and look what happens when I change the value to transition at the first elbow. What that does is it draws what the length of that vertical pipe is down. It has an elbow, and that's where our FSC is going to connect to. So this is how we can have it show hard pipe to an elbow, and then from there it's going to do flexible from this point to this point here. Okay, so that's what can be adjusted as we click on those. Now that I've set this value, I'm going to double click my red text, and it's going to draw what's going to represent the path of my flexible sprinkler piping. So I'm going to just kind of change this up a little bit, just have it kind of flow smoothly so it's not, such a harsh elbow or harsh drop down. Maybe I can even go over a little bit, and I will set this up. And once I've done this, once I've established the path, I will double click it again, and now it will draw what technically will be the green pipe, the flexible sprinkler connection pipe. So that's what the path it's going to take there. So that takes care of that. That's going to be our F1 value. So let's go throw those F1s in there. I'm going to type in FSI. Tell it do F1. I'll insert many of them. I'll insert one here. I'll select that sprinkler head as our base and then select both of them. And now we have this text that says F1 right here and another one right here. And I'll just put these, kind of to the side so they're kind of out of the way here. All right, let's go set up the next one. That's going to be a hard pipe dropping down, and then we're going to have a coupling at the bottom of the hard pipe. Then we'll do our FSC piping. So let's go set up another FSC. FSC, enter, create the definition. I'm going to select this, and I'm going to select the sprinkler head. It says, when I select that, it says, okay, I know that this is a drop only. So you're only doing a drop, and the drop length is 1'10". Let's confirm that in a second. We'll see what this says here. I thought that down piece was a little bit, oh no, I'm sorry. The drop length is probably going to be about 1'1", I would figure. So we'll see what happens. So I'll set that to be drop length of 1'1". I'm not going to really bother with that too much, but I'll now click create definition. Yeah, 1'9" for what the drop length, what the drop thinks it's supposed to be. So I'm going to select I'm going to line up. I'm basically lining up where the ceiling line represents, and where I click will be where basically at this connection right here, or this point here. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of room. If I click right about there, now my ceilings kind of line up, and it looks obviously the way that it does here. So now that I have this set, I'm going to select this object, and I'm going to select the visibility button here, and it's going to ask me, do you want maximum hose or minimum hose? Let's go with maximum hose. Even if I want to, I think this is just representing where the bottom of the drop is. That's why this length looks like it's so short. So don't assume that this is the piece of pipe at 15 feet in the air. That's just showing us what that's just showing us where the connection is, that from what I understand. Maybe I'll just move this up a little bit just because. So here, it looks a little bit more legit. Yeah. So I know it looks misleading because this one shows the pipe way up here and this one shows it over here. But we'll see what happens when I go to the next step. So again, I'll click on this. The only choice is maximum hose and minimum hose. Now, I will double click on this text, and it's going to show this line. So I'll kind of make it look a little squiggly to make sure that we have something to kind of represent our flex. And we'll go here. Okay, so now that I have that, I'll double click this, and it shows that squiggly. Now, once that's in there, FSI command, we'll do the F2, insert many, pick the sprinkler head, and make a window. Hit enter. And now I have my F2 over here and my F2 over here. Okay, so let's make a 3D model and let's see what it looks like. So show 3D. I'll pick on this, enter. It thinks I didn't select the boundary. So show 3D. All right, now here is our F1 where we have our hard pipe, and then there's an elbow, and then it's going to be flexible sprinkler connections there and there, so that it looks like it's going up, but yeah, we can actually not necessarily. That was just the angle we were seeing it at, so that's what we're seeing here. And then for the one that's going to have the hard pipe dropping straight down to a coupling and then flexible, there we go. So now you can see that we have the flexible sprinkler piping at the bottom of the drop. And then we're going to connect to the sprinkler head. And that's it. So hopefully this has helped you figure out how to set up the flexible sprinkler connections. Rangers just went up 5-2. This is so once you have this all set up, I'm going to show 2D, and there you go. So restore view, and there you go. You have your flexible sprinkler connections. Now the only problem is, let's take a look at something here. The F1 that we set up is going to give us a 48-inch flexible sprinkler connection, no problem. This one gives us a 31-inch flexible sprinkler connection, but let's go take a look at something. It gave us, and that's the shortest possible flexible sprinkler connection, FSC. If I hover over this, we do get an error on it, and it's telling us, hey, you know what, by the way, when you drop down with 3 feet and you only have 2 feet between the bottom of the drop and the sprinkler head, you only have 24.35 inches long. So we'll call it 25 inches. You only have 25 inches worth of flexible sprinkler piping. The minimum is 31, and you're under the 31 by more than 20%. So we're just giving you a heads up. We're going to leave it as is, and if you want to do something about it, you can, but that just indicates what the issue is. Now, if you realize, you know what, maybe I can, let's try this. I'm going to do a CL, and I'll subtract 1 foot from both of these riser nipples or vertical pipes, and we'll do the centers only. And let's make another 3D model and see what's happened. So show 3D. Pick that boundary, try it again, pick that boundary, right click. I see that it now only it does have the 2 foot drop. So that length is 2 feet and this length is 2 feet. And it's still showing us a message here. Let's see, this is, so now we're more than 10% over. So we were 20% under before, now we're 10% over. So we got the same error. So it looks like the proper drop length here is going to be 2'6" drop. So let's do it one more time to make sure we fix that, and then we can call it. So show 2D and restore view, and I'm going to now change length. I will add 6 inches to this, 6 to this and this. Center lengths, show 3D, and I believe we won't see those yellow circles anymore. It was successful, no error messages, and there we go. We have a 2'6" long hard pipe drop, and then this is going to be 31-inch flex FSC piping. Show 2D. There we go. We have fixed the, or we set up 2 types of flexible sprinkler connections that are on pipes heading down, one with an elbow, one with a coupling, and we're good to go. Thank you for watching the video, and I hope this helps.